Let's get you guys zoomed in real quick. There we go. Fabulous. Everything's looking great. Hi guys, I'm Paint with Josh. Nice to see you. Welcome to the Paint with Josh show, the Paint with Josh experience, whatever you want to call it. We always call it something different. So, I'm glad you could be here with us today. We're going to do a cool little mountainy, rivery little scene with some grassy meadows and different stuff. So I hope that you're in the mood to do something like that. We're only going to need a few colors. Well, I said we're probably going to need like 9 or 10 colors. But let's go through what we're going to use today. Let's go over to the, actually we might use our Gamblin dioxazine purple from the Gamblin set, our Van Dyke brown and dark Sienna brown from the Bob Ross set, the Meaden Madder Carmine, maybe a little yellow ochre and some Indian yellow from the Bob Ross set, our blue, which is ultramarine blue today, but you can be using phthalo blue or Prussian blue, doesn't matter. Our Alizarin crimson from Bob Ross, midnight black from Bob Ross, finally back to using the midnight black, and a little bit of titanium white. So, let me show you what I've done to my canvas so far. It's a 20-inch by 24-inch black canvas. I had to take our Liquitex black gesso because you cannot buy black canvases in this size. And so we use this Liquitex black gesso in order to cover the entire canvas. It's an acrylic paint, so it dries in about 10 minutes. And then when it came time to paint this painting, right, when it came time to paint this guy, we took our Bob Ross Liquid Clear, which is very much like linseed oil, and we covered the entire canvas. So now we're here at this moment where we can decide what do we want our scene to sort of look like. Oh, I can almost see, but I want to have it all. Okay, let's do it over here. Let's get a little bit of our Indian yellow, just pure Indian yellow. It looks orange on your palette, but trust me, it is a yellow color. We're going to spread it right underneath here in the center. Just like that. Let it grow a little bit upwards, here, there, wherever. Just toss a little bit of that color out there. Okay, then we're going to go into our Madder Carmine from the Meaden set without washing the brush, just straight over here, right into the sucker, bang, right there. Right, now the Madder Carmine color from Meaden is very much like Bob Ross Crimson, right, but it's a little bit more vibrant in its color, and it will spread a bit further around our canvas, right? And speaking of which, we probably should have put some of that Indian yellow maybe down here. A lot of times you're aiming too high up when you're trying to do your reflection. It doesn't need to be directly underneath this guy because it's going to be covered by our mountain and such. So, take your Indian yellow, let's throw some back here. Why not? It's already got the crimson on there already, which is fine because we're going to come around the bottom side with our crimson paint anyway. We're just kind of mirroring the top. Whatever we've done on the top, we can do on the bottom. Take that paint and just literally spread it as far as you can spread it. Because we can even put a little bit of it up here, just to have a little paint on the canvas, right? Just in case we accidentally go across it with our white paint. But you want to spread it very thinly, going over it a lot of times to mush it, right? So we're going to use our purple. Let's get our purple out. This is what the purple color looks like. It's the Gamblin 1980 dioxazine purple. It's just spelled exactly how it sounds. Let's see if we can do the spellman here. D-I-O-X-A-Z-I-N-E, dioxazine. It's a very cool color. Very dark in its color, right? We can go right on top of the crimson and the yellow in the brush because it's mostly crimson now. And then we can put that purpley color sort of around the top. Anywhere that's uncovered on our canvas, we can throw that purple around there. Right? Just let it blend down into our little crimson color and dragging it down into the thing so we'll have this little gradient stripings of color. All right, a little bit more of the purple down here. You're probably never even going to see this purple down here. Probably never. It's going to be covered up by something by the time we get to our foreground. But just in case it isn't, there. Gorgeousness. Let's take a little bit of that purple too. Let's put it in the middle. Right over whatever crimson and the other color you have, right underneath our yellow color. Right there. That's right. Now we have stripes across our entire canvas of color. So when we interact with our white paint is when it's really going to shine. Now, let's go clean this brush off. And in order to do so, we're going to take the lid off. Yes! All right, you guys got to check in. Tell me where you're watching from. Where are you from around the world? Let me know, even if you're not watching the live show and you're watching it afterwards. Tell me where you're from. I love seeing where people are from. If you're in the Oregon area, I have a studio right here in Eugene where we teach classes. I also teach virtual classes, so if you're in the market to learn a virtual class, then you can let me know. Let's see. Our titanium white today is going to be provided by the Gamblin 1980 brand. Not provided, I had to pay for it. Don't get it twisted. I wish they would send me paints. But we grabbed that guy from Michael's. And that's pretty much all we're going to need. Now here's one of two ways we can do this. We can grab our liquid white, light up the entire sky, which I might actually do. It's going to look really cool. And we can put a little mountain back there. But if we do that, we're going to want the same amount of brightness, which we will probably get. Okay, let's do that. Let's take a little bit. This is our liquid white, right? Sort of runny. This has been sitting here for a while, so it's not really runny. There we go. Little bit of runniness in there, and all I need is literally, that's probably even too much on the brush, right? Not every bristle is covered, not everything is filled in, right? But that's still probably going to be too much. Let's take away half that. Okay, here we go. Right out into the yellow section. It's instantly going to get very bright. All right, and the more that we mix that, it's going to climb up into our crimson color, and you get this coolest little interaction on the canvas. Now, only really works when you have your black canvas if you've got enough of those colors out there. Enough color on your canvas. Blend this guy down a little bit more. Wherever the color is, it will interact, and then you'll see it'll start to change right when we hit our little purple stripe that was underneath there. Look at that for a cool sky, right? Let's take some of this paint off of our brush, because if you have too much liquid white on your canvas, it's going to be hard to blend, right? It's not going to be very soft or very silky. So let's take it and blend it, making sure we cover everywhere, just in case. Just in case. Now, mine got a little bit bright. I don't know how bright yours is, right? Mine got a little bit bright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some more of my purple color, and I'm going to drag it down over the top of this very wet, slick thing that I've got going on here, and see if we can't bring some more darkness down into my sky. Don't get me wrong, I love it, but it's kind of bright up there, and I like it to be darker on the top. So let's get some of our dioxazine purple right there. We're going to drop some of it up here. There we go. Drop some of it over there. We go. Right. The more we blend that guy, the more those little streaks will go away. The further it'll come down. We got to judge off of our pressure, how dark we want it to be, how much paint is on our brush, how much pressure we're pushing. And what's that last P? Anybody know the last P of Paint with Josh? There's 3 total P's of Paint with Josh. So what's the last one? I dab off my brush and go back into that so it gets softer and softer and softer as we go down. That's cool. Look at that for a sky. Anybody out there know the last P of Paint with Josh? I'm going to come around here and look. Let's see. Oh, what a sky that is. Patience. What was that other one? Perspective. That's close. That's close. Thank you, Bergs. I appreciate the super again. You're amazing. Love you over there. Thank you, Clear Views. Practice. You guys got it. The practicers. Those with practice got it, right? Let's see. Let's do some of this. I just want to have, again, just a very light bit of color down here, just so I can tell that I'll have any amount of something underneath my mountain, right? So just a little bit. We don't want to put too much, but just there. Now, I don't want to make my mountain too enormously huge and take up too much room, because in our foreground, we're going to have some hangy trees that are coming over the top, hopefully, by the time we make it down there. So let's get a little bit of our midnight black, twice the amount of our crimson, twice the amount of our blue, so we make this purplish, blackish color that we call Paint with Josh Plaque. Get this thing out the way, or that's going to ruin our Paint with Josh Plaque mix. All right, we mix it up, and no, not the plaque, that's a different spelling, okay? This is P-L-A-C-K, purple black, right? It's plaque. You have to say it like Malfoy says, Potter, but with a lot of emphasis on the P, right? You guys know why pterodactyls, you can't hear them go to the bathroom? Because the P is silent. Oh, we're just on one already today. Let's take a little bit of darkness. We're going to come up into the light, all right? Into the bright part. Doesn't have to be so big, remember. Let's get it above that yellow section, though. There we go. Have it fall down. Literally, you can do whatever it is that you want to do. Scrape it up mush it over, push it here, have it grow which way you want, right? Literally. Then we can get up here with our big old monstrous 2-inch brush and start sliding little things down and down and away, pushing back into the distance our faraway sunset and gorgeous colors. Yeah! Look at that. Just how quickly can you make a mountain, Josh? Well, just about that fast. How should we color this old bugger? Should we put some brown on there, guys? We haven't done a brown highlit mountain in I can't remember how long. I don't even remember how to paint a brown highlit mountain. So let's learn together. Right? I'm going to relearn. You're going to learn the first time. I'm going to relearn. By the way, here's a good question for you in the comments. How many paintings have you done total, right? How many total paintings have you done? Because I believe this is my 1,947th. I think. My mods are going to have to let me know on that one. What did I put in the store today? I think it was 1947. But type in the comments, how many paintings have you done in your life, right? Or in your career, tried, maybe you were serious, maybe you were just messing around, but give me a number. How many paintings have you done? We're going to come in here. We mixed our 2 brown colors together. So our dark Van Dyke brown and then our lighter dark Sienna brown. Don't ask why they named it dark. It doesn't make any sense. Okay? We're going to come over here and grab a slight little teeny tiny touch of our white paint. We're going to grab some of our yellow ochre. We're going to mix half of our pile into a brighter color. All right, so now we've got a brighter color and we've got that darker color back there. And then we can get out here and see what's going to happen, right? Where is my light source coming from is the question, because it's literally on both sides. And so we can decide, I'm going to imagine it's over here, because this side's going to be more covered by trees by the time I get up there. That's why my mountain is placed off to the right center of the canvas versus the left center, where I would have more room on this side, right? It's all about where you place stuff. Okay, let's go into our shadows first. Say my light's over there. I'm going to grab the darker brown in a big old gunk. I'm going to attach it to the canvas and just very lightly start flowing down and down and down. Right? The more paint that you have on the blade and the more pressure that you're pushing onto that canvas, the more it's going to smear your chunks, right? You don't want to have smeared chunks. This isn't Einstein bagels out here where we're smearing everything, okay? We want to flow across it so lightly that you can't even feel it, right? Have you ever been fishing, by the way? I asked this to some people and they're like, no, I've never been fishing. If you've ever been fishing and you cast out your line and you're just waiting for it, it's out there in the water and you can feel like these little nibbles, like the fish is testing it out. It hasn't sucked it in yet. It's just testing it out and you're waiting on those little tiny things. If you can have enough paint on your blade and then come up here, you can feel the paint drop off in these little bites as you're going down. Right? It has to be a thick paint in order for it to work. Let's take some of that lighter color. We basically mixed our yellow ochre and our lighter, a little bit of our titanium white in with those guys. And all of a sudden, we're catching a bit of brightness out here on the mountain slopes. Right? How far does your little sloping mountain come down? How many little sections are in there? Right? How far is it going to drag off? What's it going to look like when you're doing yours? Again, we haven't done a brownish mountain in so long. Let's take a little bit more of our yellow ochre down, brighten it up even more down in that color. Okay, and then we can pop on, or just literally, you have just some almost pure yellow ochre over here. There, just a couple little bright areas. Let them kind of fade in across that guy. It's kind of catching some morning sun or some afternoon sunlight right before it goes down. Very cool. Now, the more that we come out here, our little horizontally wide boots, you can project more mountain this way, right? Perhaps a bit of brightness out there, right? Kind of let its way down and down and down, whatever. We got our dark side off the back, so you come up and grip him, and just literally, where do you want it to be? How much do you want it to show through? There. Cover over those little guys. There. That's a cool little bit. Now, what if we wanted to have just a little touch of our plaque on the edge of our blade too? Come up. Just there we go. If you're going to have a dark shadow, you got to have some of that dark or darker little pits of stuff where you don't see literally everything, right? Nothing out there is going to be fully seen at all times. There we go. Just trying to add a little bit more of that depthy shadow back in there. That's really cool. Okay, let's take our 2-inch brush, right? Actually, let's use up a little bit more of our bright highlight paint. Let's get it down here, and it's only down here to make some brownish misty fog. We're only really going to see about that much to begin with, right? But if we don't put it down there, then we're going to be missing it by the time that we're down there. So we'll take our 2-inch brush, come back here very lightly, very softly, pulling away from the canvas if you think you're pushing on it too hard, right? Very soft. Turn it over now, go the other way. Again, very lightly. We're not trying to drag anything. We're not trying to move any paint. We're just trying to soften it down just a touch, okay? Just the littlest bit. Now I have not cleaned this brush since we started doing the sky, doing the mountain, doing everything, right? Just keep dabbing it off on a paper towel. Just like that. Someone's knocking at the door. Okay, come out here, tap it out, tap it out, tap it out. You can see less detail over here now, right? All we're looking for is that lighter color brown to mix in and turn into some misty action pieces by the time we get down there, right? That way, when we come in with something else, like another little bit of forest or something in between, you're gonna have this misty, foggy area. So here again, we're just tapping at the corner, tapping it out, tapping it out, tapping it out, losing a lot of the details down around the bottom, which is why we don't care, right? We don't care what happens down around here. We're only interested in the top peak of our mountain being nice and in focus. Everything else around the base, out of focus. Very cool. Oh, yeah. This one's like, it's just giving deserty vibes to me. It's just screaming for a desert. I will not have a desert. You know what? It's been so long, again, since we painted even a desert scene. Should we, you guys tell me, should we flip the whole idea and go desert just from what it looks like right here? And I did not plan on it to look like this. It's just pure yellow ochre color to give a little bit of highlight, different places. Right? Should we go desert on this guy? We haven't done a desert in, I can't even remember how long. Can't even remember how long. What do you guys think? You think yes for the desert? Dude, it's looking so deserty already. Bang. All you guys over on YouTube. Did you know that Bob was actually my grandpa's cousin? Believe it or not. You can believe it or you can believe it not. I don't have to, it's not gonna bother me whether you believe it or not. Yes, we all miss Bob, right? But I'm here. We're here teaching the same sort of techniques, doing them a little differently, showing you my style versus his, you know what I mean? I tend to do things a few different ways. We found easier ways to do it, you know what I mean? So, the easier it is for us to do, the more fun we're gonna have doing it. Now, let's get out here. You know what? All right, let me show you. If we just start, let's change our angle. If we just grab a little, I don't know, a little bit of that brown color, a bit of our yellow ochre, we'll just put it down here. You can kind of see the color, right? Just like that. That's the color, and we'll see what it looks like, right? If we come across here and we cut down, we need just a little touch. We've got further away shadow. We've got a different color on our land over here. Right? The best part about the desert, it's just a lot of dirt. You don't have to do too much, right? We're putting in too many details. Is it really a desert anymore? Because deserts are pretty bare to me. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Right? How much can you blend it in to allow it to look a certain way? It's all about our drags, our angular drags of our brush. Dude. All right, what if we did this? Just let me just see something. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Let me just see this. If we came out here and we just scraped in right over that dark area, right? We're going to scrape in a couple little details that we'll actually be able to see. This might look like a chasm in between two little deserty areas, kind of reminiscent of our old pal Indiana Jones, where we'll have like a disconnection in this desert scene, if we can do it right. And guess what? If not, then we can just blend it all together and turn it into sand, right? That's the best part about everything. Let's mix up a little bit more of that brown, our two brown colors together. Let's see if we can't make like a little chasm out here. Right? We want to have the darker brown underneath. So what's it going to look like if you just whip it down like that? Oh, guys, that's going to be cool. Especially, okay, if you're looking at it into the future, we take our highlight color again, and then we cut across this way. And we have like a little, there's like a projection. It can even come up. That, and now we'll have these two bits of broken land that are going to drag off this side. All that stuff turn into sand back here. All it is, a little bit of color turning into our sandy area back there. And then we'll have this gap, this crazy thing out there. That's sliding it away back to the side. All of a sudden, can you see a little chasm already being built right there? A little disconnection in the earth? Or is it just me? Am I the only one? That's okay. That's okay. I can be the only one, that's fine. That's fine, guys. Okay, now, let's come back and sort of perfect that. I really like how that looks. So we'll take a little more yellow ochre, a little more brown color, we'll mix this guy up. Remember, we need it to sort of be bright-ish because we got to have it on the edge of our bit of land. Okay, so let's get that yellow ochre, mix it up down here. There we go. Just about half my pile. So a little bit more than half of it is our bright color, and then we've got some dark color left over, so we can throw down underneath these guys. Right. So it's saying you're coming up and just kind of depositing it and letting it go down into dark, into black canvas, so you can't really see it. There's a little separation in there, right? You can't just leave it pure unpainted canvas, but you have to have at least a little dark separator like we talk about with our ocean scenes and stuff all the time, right? This guy. As long as we have that little gap back in there. The bigger the gap, obviously, right? You come back in here and you cut away some of that guy. Take out and have a little bit of our darker color back in there too, sort of blend it as it gets further away. It gets a little darker, a little harder to see. As we get out here, we can see more and more and more of it. It's going to look more like a deep, dark chasm of color. Now, very, very, very gently pulling it down so I don't have the two pieces touch. Right? Now, let's take our bit of darkness back here. We can always come back. We'll add a... You know what? There's literally so many things you can do. Literally too many things we could do. But if we got some of this highlight color first. We came down here. Just literally turned our direction. Changing it up. There we go. A little bit. Dragging it up into the mountain so you get that color gradient right there. I like it. I like it. Alright, let's see. We take this guy. Come over. Just kind of cutting in some of that color. And if anything, the smallest bit of yellow ochre, right, just pure yellow ochre is going to be so bright over the top of those little guys. We're going to have our details fading back, just kind of cutting them back, almost like a seascape would be, literally. This is quite honestly, let's just make it up as we go and see what it looks like. Take a little bit of color. Remember, we don't want to take it all away. Just want to have it kind of fade back just very lightly. And again, just making it up off the top of our head. Very cool. It's almost like our sunlight is coming down and hitting on certain areas over here, making it very bright along the edge. Again, just a couple little details, little differences, little things. Now we've got to come back underneath this guy. Just kind of make little weird projections and then pull them backwards because we know we're going to drag back all that color anyway, right? Little things, if you leave them like that and then say maybe we'll turn it this side, push it out. Because now that looks like a little rock out there to me. I don't know what it looks like to you guys, but if you mix it up enough, like a little rock out or some sort of little projection or something, right? That's all it ever is something out there. Maybe something out here. Here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Literally, just make it odd and weird, right? Then we can come down. We're going to take all those guys out. Swipe them down this way, or pull them back down, whichever direction that we literally want to go, and leave little places of differences, right? It's a cool little chasm right there, you guys. Literally, and if I wanted it to keep going, I cut this darkness in across my canvas, just real quick like, right? That's our plaque mix. We're gonna just pull it down, pull it down, pull it down. Just gonna help that guy. Right there. Here we go. I like it, dudes. Okay, let's get back in here. If we're gonna do a deserty scene and put anything back here, we're gonna need some green. And I don't have much green left, which is why I was gonna do the scene I was gonna do today. But it's okay. We're gonna take our sap green. This is literally the last sap green that I actually have. We're gonna mix it up to where we can still see green, but I want that plaque mix in there as well. Right? This one is very bright. You can still see that greenish color. All right, let's mix it down there. Because these guys are a little bit further away, we're gonna have less color and less detail on them than we would if we were up close, right? So let's grab, there we go. We're gonna grab the Paint with Josh filbert brush, right? It used to have a black handle and a gold ferrule, not anymore. We're gonna run it down through, here we go, through our green paint on the one side. Actually, let's do it on both sides for this guy, because he'll be further off in the distance. There, what if we had just a little touch of something right there? Just a little old thing out there in the desert, man. All right, remember the desert is majoritively empty, so you don't need too much. Little thing out there, one little arm. Just like so. There, right? Come out, the closer that we get to us, the bigger things are gonna get, right? So don't forget about that. And remember, out there in the distance, we don't need a whole lot of detail. Not too much, not too much. You're gonna come back and grab the edges, so you overdo it, so you can come back in, grab those edges up, blend them out, push kind of seats down into the sand, then you can push your brown sand back, getting a little shadow kind of underneath our guy. Now, let's come over here. We're gonna start making some bigger things happen. Right, we could do one in the front up here. We could do a couple over there, but I never like them to, actually, let's do a big sticky tree right up into all that stuff. Like a big sticky, like, you know, branch sort of thing. So let's get a little closer. Let's go into our green on our one side. I'll flip the brush over, go plaque on the other side. So now we've got green there and plaque there. All right, gorgeous. We're gonna turn that green away. Actually, again, it's really not gonna make too much of a difference, but you do wanna have that dark side. Let's get a little higher, let's push in a little bit more. We'll come down, right there. Right, the more that you get up here, the bigger it's gonna be, okay? It might look shiny on our screen with all of our bright lights, but it's supposed to be nice and dark, okay? Then, let's take that same thing to where we have our green on our one side, our black or plaque mix on the other side. Let's take that guy right over here. Turn it, right? They don't all have to look exactly the same, so don't make them all look exactly the same. That's my whole deal. If they don't have to look alike, why are we trying to make them all look alike? Let's take a little bit more of our darkness, fill in the base, so you have a good little section, a good little bit of something, right? Literally something up there. Take a small amount of it, pull it away. Feed that brown back in, so you don't have too much shadow out there. And all of a sudden, looking a little cool, looking a little cool. Let's put something big down here. All right, so we can go dink, dink, boom, right here in the front. We'll kind of leave this guy open on the side, actually. Kind of open on that shine. Again, none of this was planned. We plan on doing a desert scene, but that sky and that mountain told us that we should, right? Just told us that we should. Yeah, thank you for that TikTok money thing. I love you guys. I appreciate that. Who sent that? Dragonfly with all the deals. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you. It's gorgeous. I appreciate that too. Did you know you guys can get this painting? It's over on my site, right? Which is paintwithjosh.com. You can head over there and add a little bit of darkness back behind this guy. A couple little spots in there because it's never all going to be just a bright there. Look at how it changed it with just a couple little things. Literally, guys, you don't have to do too much. You'll end up doing too much and you're going to be mad at yourself. Put that darkness down there and spread it out. Spread it out. There, a little shadow back behind our little guy. Very cool. Okay, let's wash this guy off. Come over here. And we'll start throwing on just, again, a couple teeny tiny little highlights out there. You don't want to have too many. You don't want them to be too bright. So let's use our yellow ochre. It's kind of like that brownish yellowy color. Over here with our liquid white, just enough to help it change in its consistency. Again, way the heck out here, such a small, teeny tiny little touch. Right? If you make it too big, it's going to be way too much. It's going to take away some of those little bits, spreading it out, rub it underneath. It's kind of cool. Kind of cool back there, guys. I'm liking it. Go, spread that paint. Spread it. There. Right. Darker back there, getting lighter as we get towards this. We've got the edge of our little cliff over here. It's just looking fantastic. Let's take a little touch of that too. And a little bit of our madder carmine and our yellow ochre color on the brush at the same time. Look at all those little differences you get. The little reds and different things and different pops of stuff. Let's throw some of that back on here too. It's the smallest indication, right? You don't want to have too many. He's very far away. So if you put too many little things out there on that guy, we're really going to notice them. Versus in here, oh, I like it. I like it. Kind of overtaking our little cactus now. All right, let's decide on what we want to do in the foreground up here. We'll throw a big old shoot. We can do it there. Let's put something here. Let's put something on this side of the cavern, right? And then we'll put something over here that's a little bit bigger. These branches kind of cut through some of this stuff too. We'll figure it out as we go, right? Remember, not everything out there needs to be a cactus either. You can have little bits of bush or whatever you want to have. Again, back out, grabbing them up at a higher place, working down to a lower spot, and working back up to a higher spot on our other side. Kind of leave some of our shadow down there. There's little things you can do always to fill up spots in our painting. Right? Now, let's get a little touch of our odorless mineral spirits. We'll pop a little sticky little guy coming out of this here, right? Full pressure against the brush, or against the canvas anyway. Crazy old little nuts little stick. All right, now we're gonna make him bigger, turn him into a little tree. All right, how far does yours want to grow out? Come out here, want to cut in front of your cactus? It almost did. Really almost did. Down in there, thicken up our little trunk a little bit. He's just a wiry old little tree. But you have to have enough of your odorless mineral spirits, which is that clear chemical that we use to clean our brushes. And if we don't have enough of that clear chemical, then it's just not going to work. So came over here, dropped off a little branchy poo somewhere, here, there, wherever. Right, it's up to you how many little things you want to toss off on your little guy. Little branching, and it came out and crisscrossed over there. You had these little things. It's just a little sticky old little tree. There's no way to mess it up. All right, really. Seriously, how are you going to mess up a little tree? There, a little branch. What, are you going to give it too many branches? That's going to mess up your tree? Like, really? It's a cool little tree. I like him. Doesn't have to be super filled or super thick, right? It's all just odorless mineral spirits on with our liner. So it's very thin paint. Okay. There. Just have one more little guy off the top. Oh, I like him. Okay. Now, let's get over here. We'll add on just a touch of that crimson and our yellow ochre with our liquid white, just because I like it. It's like a little fire down there. Woo! 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 I like him. He's gorgeous, you guys. Look at that little thing. Just awesome. 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 And I can come up here and I can change what I want it to look like too. Literally get rid of that whole one on the side. Watch him blend away. Pull it up over here. Pull it down over there. Where do you want it to be? Seriously, guys, where do you want it to be? Because it can be wherever. Maybe we got another little mini stick coming out of the side. All right, just filling up that space over there. Because it can do whatever we want. Right? Little things. Okay, now let's get into our bigger one. All right, we're going to use a lot more of our odorless mineral spirits. So you're going to want to get a good sized pile of it onto the palette, into your plaque mix of paint. Right? And then you guys are going to have to start coming up with a title for this one too. What do you think the title should be for this guy? You gotta let me know. Man, look at this one. Whew. You know what? just from how thick this is right here, we're gonna have to make one of these guys bigger. There we go. There, just to have it show that it's growing up to a point. We got one real tall little branch rolling back off this way. Ah, that's cool. I like him. Okay, we're gonna come over onto this side. Again, lots of paint thinner or your odorless mineral spirits. Lots of paint down in here. And let's just start up here because we know we're gonna have to go down further. But crazy old thing. That's why we have all this bright color in the back of our horizon back there. So we have all these little things that we can project this distance against. Oh man, that's the same size little tree, except we know that this one's gonna get a lot bigger. And more little branches. One's coming off this side, over here, wherever you want them to be. We're just growing down to the base of where our tree is gonna sit. These branches could be connected to something that we haven't even seen yet. Right? We're just making it up as we go. We need a little bit more of our odorless mineral spirits. And we gotta have enough of our plaque mix in there. So let's mix up a little bit more of that. We don't need too much more. Just enough to have our little branch pile, that's all. Just a little pile of branches over here. Okay, so come back in here again. This thing lives down here, right? So maybe we got a whole other big old branch coming out in front of the cactus, right? Breaking off, pushing things out of the way, here, there, wherever, right? It's growing, it's heading out. All these little things can connect or not connect down into this one big old massive little branchy thing that's happening out here. So remember, it's all about filling it in, making it dark enough, right? And with your liner brush, now that we're down here, we may want to switch to a bigger brush. Right? But now that we got our liner brush out there, we're going to be going through a lot of our odorless mineral spirits. Each time that you do it, you almost have to go back and dip in after you make a whole new little branch. Branch, my man. Right? Throw them out like that. Weird, crazy old little thing. And then, what if we got one more little guy popping out that side, over here. Where do you want it to be? Because it's going to be weird. It's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be this, perfect trimmed little tree that's out there in your front yard, right? It's going to be this crazy, gnarly, just nuts looking thing out there in the desert. Every branch trying to grow off, and then it finally realizes that it's not going to get any more water to come out, and so then it's got to break off, and a new branch is growing. There's just so many things, guys. Cut out just a giant one right across there. Filled it in over here. And then we can even switch. Let's switch to one of our fan brushes, I guess, to fill in the rest of it. Because now that we're down into our trunk, right, all we're kind of do is just fill in this stuff. Work its way this way. That side. How big do you want it? Or does it sit inside of another little bit of bush at the bottom, right? It's totally up to us what happens over there. How it goes. How the things do the things that they do. So you can either do it one or two, and still that same old 2-inch brush. I've watched this thing not once. You can pull this guy out and kind of shred it out around the bottom, seeding him down into the ground. Ooh, that's a gnarly, dude. We need to get bigger. We need to get bigger with this one. Let's get a little bit more of our odorless mineral spirits. By little, I mean a lot. A lot more of our odorless mineral spirits. Let's take this guy much higher up. Right? Pop it out. This whole thing can be bigger. Oh, I like him. All right, remember, all of these little things have to be supported by your big branches, right? So if your branch is very thin and it's very long, it's not really going to be held up by too much. So let's make these guys a little thicker out there, just sort of extending them out. A couple little arms, a couple little bits. They're all kind of growing all crazily. Right out there. If we have one come off of this side, out there, literally, just trying to make a bit of crisscross, push it into the distance, whatever you gotta do in order to make it awesome. Up to that guy, over to this guy, over to that guy. It's wherever, guys, wherever we want, as many as you want to have. Cut them through, launch them off, throw it out one way, get it out the other way. Do whatever. That's a cool looking little gnarly little tree. Oh, I like it. I like it. Yeah, dark right here. There. You gotta have something out there crisscrossing. We need a bigger branch out here. Right through there. Throwing out all these details, making it real heavy where it connects onto our trunk of our tree. That's my tree. I like it. I like it, guys. One more branch. One more branch. Down to the top. Zip, zap, zoop. Oh, he's gorgeous. Okay, let's come over here. We're gonna highlight that guy now. Right? We could have spent less time doing all the branches and all the stuff, but how's that any fun? Let's take our dark brown paint. All right, we're gonna come over onto the back side of him, and we're just gonna kind of tap onto it, literally. We're gonna tap and move, and tap and move, and tap and move, and tap and move. Come pick up where it's real heavy and tap it into different places. Right, just literally tapping it on there. It's gonna give it all of this texture. Now, obviously, you can't go all the way up to the tip tops of all your branches with all that texture, but guess what? You don't have to. It's not required. Our eyeballs aren't going to be looking all the way up there for all that texture. They're going to be looking down here where we're closest to us for all of the texturous stuff. Pop a couple little roots out there that didn't even exist just by adding that texturous paint, honestly. Who's going to tell you you can't? And then again, if you put on too much, especially down around the bottom, we'll just wipe it away and turn it into sand, guys. For reals. Okay, let's get out here now. We're going to go into our brighter color. Brighter color brown. Grab up a little bit of this guy. And let's just say on some of these bigger ones, we're catching a little bit of that brightness. Just tapping it, tapping it, tapping it. Tap and move. Tap and move. Tap and move. All right, Muhammad tree out here, the bob and weave. Over there, tapping it on, tapping in. Little areas of brightness, little areas of darkness. You can't cover every single part of every single thing that's out there. You have to have some bits of dark paint, some bits of silhouette on your tree versus everything just being supremely textured, right? Now, let's get up here. Again, a little bit of that yellow ochre. We don't have much left. A little yellow ochre. Out here on some of these guys. There we go. Right? Some of those guys out here. Tapping it along against the front. Now we get this really bright spot on the front of our tree. And as we tap it back into the darker side of our tree, it's going to make it look more like a little dark. The light's trying to reach its way around and find what's happening over there. Not every piece of every branch has to be shown. So don't believe if they're telling you that. It doesn't have to be like that. A little touch here, a little touch there, a little touch over here, right? And then it's going to kind of fade up into the shadows. Not every piece is big enough to support a light area, right? So, little things, guys, honestly. Little touches. Little touch. There we go, baby. Baby, right there. Woo, just the littlest bit on the top. Now we'll come onto the inside where the light would be hitting in here. Just turning our blade, tapping it on. Little things. Little things. Man, that's a cool looking old little tree right there. Just if you're asking me, that's a neat looking little tree right there. Dudes. Okay. Man! Okay, stop it. That's fantastic right there. Don't mess with it another single touch. Maybe on one of these little guys out here. You can see why we didn't put any detail on our cactuses, because we sort of knew that we'd be coming out here with all these branches on our crazy old tree. Not everything, even on your highlight, has to touch, so please don't make them all so bright. Leave a couple little dark spaces. little areas where nothing out there is catching too many or too much of too many little things. You can scrape it back in order to make it less noticeable, or if you end up covering over too much of your darkness, you just go back a little bit of your plaque and your mix come right back over where that guy is and just shrink that bit of brightness back to a very minute little thing, right? The more of these little guys that get too bright, the more we're not going to like them. So we can go back and kind of sneak in a bit of darkness in between those areas that did get too bright. And remember, it never, ever, ever has to go everywhere. So don't try to make it go everywhere. Even if your paint with Josh getting way up here on the thing is dangerous. It is dangerous, because if you touch too much or have your paint globbing with a space that's not supposed to be, man, you're just not going to like it. I'm telling you now, you just won't like it. God, that's so pretty, isn't it? That one is pretty. Let's take a little bit of our highlight, or our texturous stuff. Put it on this guy back here too. Just because he's close enough now, looks like we've got a bigger tree up here, and a smaller tree back here, and still have a little touch of that texturous paint on there. Give himself a little bit of, little bark. And then again, we'll come across it with our lighter color, our yellow ochre, and that lighter brown color. Tap on in different places. Not everything's exactly the same. It doesn't have to be out there, little bits. It doesn't even have to climb all the way to the top. Because when you're looking for your highlights at the top, right? I mean, go outside and look at a sticky tree. You might be able to see the brown until it gets up so high or so thin that you can't tell that it's brown anymore. And so, you don't have to do the highlights all the same. You're not supposed to go to the very edge. Little things, and nothing out there has to be this perfect thing. Right? If we were going for perfect things, then why are we painting landscapes? We don't want to be painting perfect things. We want to be painting weird, odd little things in our landscapes to make them more natural, more realistic. Right? Let's see. I'm going to run out of our yellow ochre back here. Some more of it out. I just want to have a couple little details as it kind of fades away. That's cool, guys. That's neat. Let's get a little bit more of our yellow ochre, though, just a touch. Because it's very easy to run out of that yellow ochre color, especially when you're doing like a brown deserty thing. I always feel like it highlights it the best anyway. Very cool. Those trees, dudes. Very neat. Whose idea was it to do a desert scene today? Whose idea was it? Who talked me into doing this today? A little yellow ochre, a little of our dark sienna brown, and then a little of our Van Dyke brown. Very small amount of Van Dyke brown because it wants to make it dark very fast. Out here, a couple little bits, especially as we get closer to us. A couple little oddities in our sand or whatever it may be that we're looking at over here. And nothing has to all be the same. You know what I mean? None of it. You can take this guy and you can pull it back this way, kind of feed it back like a mountain and leave it a little bit of texturous. Right? Because again, we're a little closer over here than we are anywhere else. Up there, little things, little bits, little bits. Just little bits. Perfect. Quite honestly, perfect. Try not to get too close, try not to have anything look too much of anything, because it's literally a little desert out there, right? What are we going to see out there in the night? In the deserty night. There, a couple little oddities, guys. Seriously, don't do too much. Okay, let's take our last bit of our plaque mix in that kind of dark green mix. And we're just going to add just a bush or two around this guy, around the back side over here. Very dark green in its color. And then when we highlight it, it should stay relatively greenish, since there's a lot of green inside of that color. We've been working on that more because sometimes that plaque mix will dull it down very fast, right? So if you're trying to have something where you want to try to keep it a little bit more greenish, we need to add a little bit more green into our base shadow mix. Right? Okay. this guy. Man, I love that tree. I don't know what it is, guys. I love this tree right here. Back. A little bits of bright, like I'm serious. If you make it too bright, right, you're gonna be the one that doesn't like it, not me. I'm gonna look at it and go, oh, it's cool. You're gonna be the one that's looking at it going, oh, I made it too bright, right? So don't have too much paint. Don't try to highlight it too well, right? Just let it fly, man. Let it fly. Let's come over here, a little bit of our liquid white. Going into our sap green and our cad yellow mix. There we go, a little bit of our yellow ochre as well, right on the top. Back here, just gonna pop in little things, very light-handedly. All right, we don't want these guys to be too bright. We don't need them to overfill every little space. We got this weird little bit of something out here growing in the day, my friends. In the day. Let's get a little touch of our liquid white, just a small little bit. There, we got a little gray color there. Pop out a few little things here and there and here, just wherever. Trying to grow out of our little bush. Fabulous. Fabulous, guys. I'm already liking it. I am already in love. Okay, you guys, you got to come up with a title for this one. That's the truth right there. You got to come up with a title. If you can come up with the best title, then we might choose it and name the painting whatever you had said. So, but I'm never going to know your title unless you type it out and try to tell me what we should call this painting right now. Right? What should we call it? What shall we name this one? You're going to tell me, and then I'm going to go over there and name it. Right? Especially if you purchase the painting during the show, you get to pick what the title is forever. So there's that perk. If you want to name it, you got to grab it. If not, we're going to name it as a group. So we're going to need titles anyway. Too many little things. Oh, look at those trees. Oh, it just stands out like you just wouldn't even believe. Like you just wouldn't believe it. There. Okay, you guys come up with a title. I'm going to wash off some of these brushes. And there you go. Cool little desert scene that we literally made up right off the top of our heads. All right, you guys can do it too. I know you can. I know this one's so my voice isn't even that warmed up. Hang on. Sugar. There we go. That worked. Hey! So which one of you grabbed this one? You're amazing. I love it. I love that mountain in the background, dude. Seriously. Oh, it's cool. That tree, these scraggly little things, the rocks in the front. Love the stillness. I like that too. That's very cool. Coyote Pass. That's a cool title. Chocolate Sands. I like that one too. That's wicked. Shady Sands, Desert Peace, Desert Solitude. Man, Deserted. That's a cool one. Branches of Drought. Echoes in the Dunes. Very cool. The Great Southwest. Morning Border. Oh, yeah, we got to put the birds in. Don't worry, we'll throw the birds in. Look at that pastel sky, though, you guys. Woo! That's a crazy, gorgeous little sky, if you ask me. And throw the birds in, then we'll throw our little signature in. The desert birds, crows, grackles, all the desert creatures. Come out here and go, caw-caw. Just flying through the day. Look at them. They are fantastic. Some of the times they just come out good. Some of the times they just don't. Those are great ones. Boy, oh boy. Should we throw the signature over here? Let's put it over here. There we go. That way it's out of the way. It's not standing out there trying to scream at you and going, hey, this is my painting. Like, you know, this screams at you that this is a Paint with Josh painting. For sure. Okay. Yes! Man, that one was cool. Who grabbed this one? Because I have all three of my devices going, so I don't know. I can't see until I get rid of one of the streams, so then I can have one of my devices back. So does anybody out there, you guys, have you claimed it? Have you claimed it? Thanks, Jacob. Appreciate you. Buzzard Delight. I like that. Lost in Time. That's a cool one. All right. Robert, did you? Man, you're the man, bro. This is a big canvas, too. You're going to like it. You're going to like it, my friend. Let me fix this guy up real quick. There. Like, I like having a bit of broken color in my branch too, but not that broken. Had to connect at least a little bit. Dude, it's cool. Robert's watching over on YouTube, everybody. So, if you're on YouTube, he's going to be looking at your titles, and I'm going to be reading him the titles off from Facebook and from TikTok. So, put in what you want to call this painting, and then Robert's going to choose what it's going to be, and then we'll put it on the back, and we'll be all at a rooski. Man, what a day so far. So, since we got this one during the live show, we're going to do a light party too, guys. I don't know if you've been watching on Facebook or on YouTube or on TikTok. We got the light party back, which means we're going to be flashing lights, and it's just a whole nother little extra bit of fun at the end of the show. So stick around, don't go anywhere, because you're going to see something cool, man. Something cool. Gotta be something cool. Over there. I want to thank all you guys from yesterday too. Robert and Thomas and April. April went and got a painting too. Thomas is going to take a class with me, so that's going to be awesome. And just literally everybody who supported yesterday, mind blowing. I love all you guys. If I had that much support every day, I would just literally, my mind would go and pop out of my own skull. So, you guys are amazing. I love you. Robert, we need a title for this one, and I'm going to tell you what they're saying over on the Tiki-Taki. It's freaking gorgeous. I like it too. Branches of drought, stillness between the thorns, days or haze of what remains, dune of doom. That's cool. Destination desert. I love Coyote Pass. That was cool. I saw that over on Facebook. That was from Tara Loge. I'm so bad with last names, Tara. It was from Tara over on Facebook where I saw that first. I think that might be the one he wants to go with, Tara. You might want to go with that one. So far, your favorite, my little desert scene? Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate it. Is that what we're going to go with, Robert? Coyote Pass? Just so you can see if Josh knows how to spell coyote. Put in like a little pathway back here, too. Just a little scrapers, getting a little bit. See? See? Just a little bit more detail in that bit. And it almost looks like you can walk right back. I mean, I know you're going to have to jump over this. I don't know how wide it is, but once we jump the gap, then we'll be able to walk right across that guy. Continue on the path. Oh, dude. That's cool. Cute. I just want that little touch of my texture. The texture is what really digs. Oh, it's literally like a little. We just keep going. Keep going, guys. So, is it going to be Coyote Pass from Rob? That's it. He said it. So, let's unscrew this guy. Come over here. And this one came out fabulous, you guys. Literally, every time I do a desert, because I've lived in the desert for 35 years. I lived in Las Vegas, right? That is a desert of all deserts. It's surrounded by hours of desert. It's literally in the middle of hours of this desert landscape. And so for 35 years, that's all I got to look at everywhere. It's my inspiration, which is my painting the desert so much. I love this one. This one came out amazing. But yeah, it's so funny that like, why don't you, if you live in the desert, why don't you paint desert stuff? Because I live in the desert. I don't want to see more desert stuff. I want to see more mountains and more stuff that isn't where I am. Isn't that what art is for? It was so funny. I remember talking to somebody, and they lived in Hawaii. And I was like, Dad, you really need one of my mountain paintings out there in Hawaii because you don't have mountains like that. And they're like, yeah, no, everything's all seascapes and stuff. I'm like, why? You can literally look out the window and see the ocean. Why do you have ocean art? It blew my mind. Am I the crazy one? I don't know. Probably. We won't deny the mental illness of Paint with Josh. Must be crazy. Okay, so Robert, we're gonna do a light party now, everybody. This is it. This is your first time ever seeing a light party. You're in luck. But I do need to give you a flash warning, okay? The flash warning means we're going to be flashing lights at the canvas, and it's going to change the canvas. It's going to be really crazy, like we're in the club, okay? All I want you to do is tell me what part flashes for you the most, because when we start hitting it with the lights, the painting is going to start to light up, right? So what's flashing for you the most? All you got to do is tell me that. So once you're ready, type in the words "I'm ready" into the comments, and then keep your thumbs there, because something's going to start to flash, and I want an answer from everybody, okay? So, are you ready for the light party? Remember, if you're sensitive to light, turn your phone away. Don't look at it for the next 30 to 60 seconds. I'll tell you audibly it's okay to look at it when it is finally okay. And we're going to start it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Light party! Boom, boom! Look at that! Oh, what's flashing for you the most? What catches your attention the most? When you partite, light partite. Oh, is the sky? Is it the tree? Is it the bushes? Is it the cactus? What is it out there that's flashing for you the most? And we're going to bring the lights down in 3, 2, 1. Now we're back to normal lighting conditions. So if you were sensitive, you can turn around now and look at the phone again. We got the sky, the mountain, the trees. Man, you guys are awesome. Roberta over there. Guys, Roberta is watching on Facebook. Well, Roberta is one of my longest, I was going to say one of my oldest followers. That sounds mean. One of my longest time followers over there on Facebook. She followed the original page. She followed the page when it got hacked, and I had to restart everything. And man, like, thank you, Roberta. Like, seriously, you've been watching me for 5 years at least, which is insane. This is insane to me. And she's still here. You want to know why? You want to know why it's insane? Because she's still here watching. Most people, and I expect you guys to do this. You start watching me, you learn some stuff, and then you go out on your own and you stop watching me. That's just how it goes. And new people will come in and watch, and then it's just this revolving door. So the people that have hung out and have stayed for so long, I remember their names, right? Because they were way back in the day when I could respond to everybody. And so thank you, Roberta, for being here. Seriously. And anybody else who's watched me for as long as Roberta, I love you. Thank you so much. Literally, so much. Look at that. Grab it, slide it off the other side, filling in a little bit of that dark color. And then all of a sudden, it looks a little different, don't it? Okay, so we did the light party. We're going to do one more thing, guys, that we call the RGB party, just real quick, and then we'll end the show. And what we're going to do is we're going to flash red light at the canvas, and it's going to change the color of everything. Then we're going to go green light on the canvas, and then blue light, red, green, blue, RGB party, right? So all I need you to do is tell me which one you like the most. Whether you like the red, the green, or the blue. We're going red in 3, 2, 1, red. All right. Oh, it's fantastic. Right? We're going to go green in 1, 2, 3, green. Look at it. Man, just makes it much more spookier and witchier. Oh, I love it. Which one do you like the most? Going blue in 3, 2, 1, blue. That's a deserty scene at night for ya. Oh, Josh is crazy. So, which one did you guys like the most? Let me know in the comments now. We're back to normal lighting conditions. So this is what it will actually look like. But which one did you like the most? The green and the blue? The red. I know the red looks so cool, didn't it? Just looks so cool. Man, you guys are amazing. Okay. I don't want to go too long over on YouTube and on Facebook. So all the YouTubers and the Facebookers, I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for being here. I never try to let the tutorials go much longer than an hour over there, because then people look at the time and they go, oh, I don't want to do that one. It took forever. No, it really didn't. It only took like 45 minutes, but then we talked for 45 more minutes, which is so I try to cut it off, and then we'll hang out on TikTok for a little bit. So if you're on TikTok, don't go anywhere. And all you guys over on Facebook and on YouTube, we're going to be doing a second show just on TikTok. And later on, in about an hour from now. So if you don't already follow me, it's Paint with Josh K right over there. Same as my Instagram. You can go check me out on Instagram and stuff. Robert, I very much appreciate you for grabbing this one. I hope to see you on the next, on the next stream, and later on tonight in about an hour. So you guys rock. And until I see you guys, oh, actually, if you're going to be doing this tutorial, make sure you send it to me. Either send it to me on Facebook or on Instagram, or post it in one of my comment sections. I totally fixed that spot right there. one of my comment sections on any one of my posts on Facebook, right? Post it there. And then I'll be able to see your version of the painting. I really want to see it. So, whenever you're ready, send it in. And until I see you guys again next time, take care. Have the rest of a good day. Foliage. I literally say that at the end of every show.